Naila, why is English language important to learn?
This is because English language is an international language and is widely followed and understood by people across the world.
I want to learn this language.
To learn every language, there are some skills to develop. Follow this class to learn these skills.
Wonderful to meet you once again, our viewers. We are here again to go through one of our lessons in our program English Language for Junior High School. Today we are going to be talking about characterization, that is characters in literature. Class, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Good. We looked at elements of literature the last time we met. And then we mentioned some things as being elements of literature. Let's remind ourselves of the things we mentioned as elements of literature. Let me start from Roger.
Characterization.
Characterization being one. You are very smart because it's just there, you picked. Now it's left with the rest of you to struggle. Yes, Masru? Plot. Good. Muiz? Setting. Theme. We said that let us watch the clip below and try to fish out each of the elements mentioned in the previous lesson, right? Which we remind ourselves on. The title of the clip is The Leader and the Led.
Good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
I believe you are doing well.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that is true because you're already looking beautiful and handsome. All right, before we begin our lesson, I want you to do me a favor. Who will want to be the class captain?
Say me. Say I.
Wow. Okay, Ankama, tell me this. Why would you not want Precious to be the class captain?
Say, because I'm a guy, he's also a guy. What he can do, I can also do better than him. So that's why I think I should be the class captain.
Oh, okay, that's fine. All right, give it to Efia. Efia, who do you want to be the class captain?
Hamdia.
Hamdia?
Yeah.
Wow. Why do you not want your sister, Faiza, to be the class captain?
I know Hamdia better than her. And I think Hamdia is cool.
Cool.
And respectful.
Respectful. So
Yeah.
indirectly you are saying that.
Faiza is not respectful.
All right, that's fine. Okay, give the mic to Faiza. Faiza, I will not let you attack her. Why would you not want Najat to be the class captain?
I don't want Nada to be the class captain because I know I'm potent, I'm competent, I can do better than what she can do.
Wow, that is it. On that, I will tell you a story. Do you know about the animals kingdom? Very good. Some years ago, they had similar issue. What was it? They also wanted to elect a class captain just as you are doing. But you know, in the animal kingdom, they will want someone to be a leader. But I think the best way you will understand my story, I'm going to put it in a poem written by one professor called Ni Osundari. And the title is The Leader and the Led. The Leader and the Led. Did you get that? Yes. What did I say the title is?
The Leader and the Led.
The Leader and the Led. Now you have to listen attentively. When I finish reciting the poem, I will want you to relate it to what you have just discussed now. Why some of you want to be class captains, why you don't want others to be the class captain. All those issues are raised in this poem. So listen attentively. Are we ready? The leader and the led. The lion stakes his claim to the leadership of the pack. But the antelopes remember the ferocious pounce of his paws. The hyena says the crown is made for him. But the impalas shudder at his little appetite. The giraffe craves a place in the front, but his eyes are too far from the ground. When the zebra says it is his right to lead, the pack points to the duplicity of his tribes. The elephant trudges into the power tussle, but its colleagues dread the trampling feet. The warthog is ugly. The rhino is riotous, and the pack thrashes like a snake without a head. Our needs call for a hybrid of habits, proclaims the forest sage. A little bit of a lion, a little bit of a lamb. Tough like a tiger, compassionate like a doe. Transparent like a river, mysterious like a lake. A leader who knows how to follow. Followers mindful of their right to lead. Did you hear the poem?
Yes.
Are you sure? Yes. Should I take it again? Yes. Listen attentively, after which we will discuss. Are we ready? The leader and the led. The lion stakes his claim to the leadership of the pack. But the antelopes remember the ferocious pounce of his paws. The hyena says the crown is made for him, but the impala shudder as his lethal appetite. The giraffe craves a place in the front, but his eyes are too far from the ground. When the zebra says it is his right to lead, the pack points to the duplicity of his stripes. The elephant trudges into the power tussle, but its colleagues dread his trampling feet. The warthog is ugly, the rhino too riotous, and the pack thrashes around like a snake without a head. Our needs calls for a hybrid of habits, proclaims the forest sage. A little bit of a lion, a little bit of a lamb. Tough like a tiger, compassionate like a doe. Transparent like a river, mysterious like a lake. A leader who knows how to follow. Followers mindful of their right to lead. Did you hear that? You heard that? Now, how many people have indicated their desire to be leaders in this poem? When I say people here, I mean the animals. How many of them have indicated their intention to be leaders in this poem? Najat, can you mention one? Just one animal?
The zebra.
The zebra wants to be a leader of the pack. That's beautiful. Is there any objection to his intention when the zebra said he wants to be the leader? What did the other animal say? Yes.
They said no because of the duplicity of his.
Very good. Clap for her. Is there any other animal that showed interest? Wow. Hamida, yes? Yes. Which animal?
The lizard.
The lizard. Oh, okay. Did you hear lizard here? Did you hear the mention of lizard in this poem? No. Hamida, will you try again?
The lion.
The lion, which is true. Is there any objection to that when the lion said he wants to become a leader? Yes? Okay. Yes, but let me hear from Obosu. Yes, Obosu?
Said other animals were scared because he was too bossy around them.
Okay. The other animals were scared because he's too bossy. All right, that's fine. But is there any other animal mentioned here who is never interested in becoming a leader? Yes.
The forest
The
sage.
forest sage. Clap for her. Now, who is sage? When you say you are a sage, what is the meaning of a sage?
A wise person.
A wise person. Clap for her. So it means that among these animals, there is one person or one animal that is wiser than all of them. And so the animal says that our need calls for our need. What is their need? They need a leader. Do you get it? They need a leader. And our need calls for a leader who should have what? Hybrid of habit. Hybrid of habit. What do we mean by that? Hybrid of habit. What do we mean by that? Yes, Efia? Hybrid of habit. Yes, try.
Good and bad.
Good and bad. Yes, that's closer. Can someone polish it for me? Yes, Obosu?
Not too wild and not too, very calm too.
Not too wild and not too calm. Can
Or
we just...
dull.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Is there any line in the poem that shows that we need a leader who must be a little bit wild and a little bit calm? Yes, what line? Yes.
When you said tough like a tiger.
Beautiful.
And and calm like the
do.
They do.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So we don't need a leader who is too bossy. We also don't need a leader who is too calm. You remember they mentioned that we need a leader who is what? Transparent, like what? Like
A river.
like a river, yes. And mysterious like, yes, sweetheart.
The lake.
The lake. Now let's put everything together. Now what kind of a leader do we need? The forest sage says our need calls for a hybrid of habits. A little bit of a lion, a little bit of a lamb. Yes, what kind of a leader do we need? Yes.
Say a leader who can cope with all the behaviors of the animals.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Can we get that kind of a leader in society?
No.
No. So you see, when you relate this one to what I asked you earlier, you all want to become what? Class captain. But of course, she doesn't want Precious to become the class captain because Precious is too bossy. When you relate that to this, you realize that the animals also don't want the lion to become. So the issue is that we can't find anybody to be a leader. And if we don't have anyone to be a leader, what will happen? In our poem, you heard that the pack, that's a group of the animals, they trash, they walk about like a snake without a head. So there's the need for us to get a leader. And when we get a leader, what kind of a leader? Like your sister said, we need a leader who thinks that he is rather following you people. We also need followers who believe that it is their right rather to be led. Hence the title, The Leader and the Led. Can we relate this one to politics? Can we relate this to politics? Okay. Anyone to help me with that? Anyone to help me with that? Okay. So that before I come to you, let me listen to Precious. Give it to Precious.
In politics, we don't want a leader who will feel like because he's in power, because he's having the uttermost authority, he will not listen to his people. We need a leader who is competent to work.
That's good.
For his people.
That's good. All right. That's fine. That's beautiful. Clap for him. All right. So before I say goodbye to you, I want someone to give me a summary of what we have learned. It can be in a phrase or a sentence. Yes.
The characteristics of a leader.
The characteristics of a leader. Clap for her. Of course, that is what we are learning. The qualities of a leader. You can't just select anybody to be a leader. Otherwise, people will be raising objection. So, indeed, the theme is characteristics of what? A leader. Did you enjoy that poem? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. That's beautiful. Okay, so I want to give someone this phone as a gift. Who should I give the phone to? Okay. Oh, this reminds me of the song my father used to sing. Abinwene bana kaba kareka yifusi banza. Abinwene. Kareka baya. Have a wonderful day, my children.
Yeah, having listened to the clip and watched the actions there, gives us the foundation to now discuss into details characterization. You've heard some of the questions and the response about coming to you. What are the characters that were mentioned in the clip? Give me one. Yes? Lion is one. Good.
The zebra.
Zebra was mentioned. Good. Muiz. Antelope. Rhino too. Good. Now let's go on. These are some of the questions I have. What work of literature is a clip on? In terms of drama, poem, or poetry and prose, what is it on? Yeah?
Poetry.
It's poetry. It's a poem, right? Good. But you see, even in poems, we have what? Characters. Good. Who are the characters in the poem that you've mentioned, right? So we go on. How did they contribute to the beauty of the poem? The characters, yes. How did they contribute to the beauty of the poem? The various characters, how do they make the poem beautiful or interesting? If at all it was interesting to you, was it? Yes. It was. What of you? It wasn't. You are not sure. Was it interesting to you? Yeah. Okay. What of Roger? Yes. It was. Masrur? Yes. Fine. If so, what did they do to make it interesting or beautiful to you? Yes. Think, yes?
They were giving the reason why they don't want their fellow animals to be there.
Good, good. So each character contributed to why I wouldn't want you to be a leader. It made it interesting. So you see that there's what? They created some kind of what? Competition. Good. That's excellent. Yes? What, Muiz? Yes. What did the characters do to make the poem beautiful?
By like bringing themselves out.
Okay, speaking. They were not silent. They didn't say, okay, it doesn't concern me, so let me sit silent and let them do what they want to do. Each character was part and parcel of whatever was happening. So it made the poem interesting and moving. If they had sat down, I don't care, then you see that things wouldn't move the way we had seen it. Okay, fine, so let's go on. What aspects of the characters are not their usual ways of doing things? We know lion, we know rhino, we know zebra, we know giraffe. We saw them in this clip. Or listen to what they are doing. What were they doing that we know that normally it is not the way they do things. They don't do things like that. A normal lion, a normal zebra, do they behave the way we listened or we saw in the clip? Yes?
They do not speak.
They do not speak, but here they were speaking. That's good, excellent. Yes, Masru?
They were behaving in a different manner.
What is it? Tell us exactly the behavior. That's as you mentioned. Animals do not, but here they were speaking. So what was the different attitude they were displaying? That's what I want.
They were...
Okay, we'll go on, we'll come back to yes, Roger.
They want one another to be the leader.
But is it normal that animals will meet and select a leader? No, but here we saw that, yes.
They could not think like how they were thinking.
Yes, animals in normal sense cannot think like the way they were thinking, right? But this is where we saw animals thinking, having a meeting, wanting to have a leader. Good. I said, now pick a character and say something about that character. That will be an assignment for you to bring, right? So our next meeting, you will share with me. Go and think which of the characters would you want. And the character you pick, you tell me something about that character. Now we go on. We say works of literature like stories, poems, and drama have persons or things that perform several roles and actions in the narration, recital, or what? Performance. When I say narration, if it is a story, stories are narrated. We say recital if it is a poem. In poems, we recite. We recite what? Poems. And we say performance if it is a drama. Drama, we what? We perform. So whether it is a poem, it is drama, it is what they call a story, we always have persons, people, things that perform roles, certain roles, just as we saw in the clip. So these persons or things could be human beings, animals, plants, or general what? Objects. In this case, we saw animals performing what? Actions. We saw animals making the poem come to life. Do you get that? And that's what happens in literature. For example, we have human beings like Okonkwo. You hear in stories Okonkwo mentioned. You hear Njoroge mentioned. You hear Anansewa mentioned. You hear Sandy being mentioned. Oliver Twist, Mama Adamu, and those things. I'm sure you've read stories where you've met some of these names. Yes. Good. Then in animals, you have names like lion, goat, dove, giraffe, tiger, and a lot more. And I'm sure you've heard stories or read stories and poems that contain these names. Yes. Good. Then in object, you could have stone performing actions. You could have sun, moon, water performing actions. Good. Then there are also certain parts of object. At times, not the whole object though. Like a human being, not the whole human being, but the head as a character, the hand as a character, the eye as a character, and the leg as a character. I don't know whether you've met such a story or a poem. No, don't worry, in our study we'll meet such poems and stories. We see that these characters are given human qualities. And what are some of the qualities Muiz had mentioned? Speaking. You see the characters what? Speak. One. Think. You see them think. Yes?
Reason.
Yeah, thinking and reasoning is the same thing. You're always waiting for someone to say something, then you will say the same thing in a different way. So you see, it's a particular character we have to start studying. So they therefore have lives. You see, because they have human qualities, they are given life. As far as they have lives, they therefore will eat. When you eat, what happens to you? You grow. And when you grow, what will definitely happen to you? You have to die. As far as you have life, you will eat, you will grow. Definitely you must die one day. So you will see characters, irrespective of whether they are objects, they are animals, they are human beings, you see them having this attitude. They will say they have emotions and therefore laugh and are what? Laughed. Because they have human qualities, they have emotions. And because they have emotion, they can easily laugh their colleague characters. And since they can easily laugh, they can have hatred for other characters, and so forth. They will say they live human life like marriage, they give birth, they nurture children. You hear characters giving birth to children and the rest. We say that characters in poems, stories, and dramas recognize the need to organize themselves like what? Human beings, just as the poem we saw. See that animals were organizing themselves like what? Human beings. Like human beings coming together to do something. So they therefore have leaders like kings and followers like what? Subjects. They call for meetings to resolve their what? Challenges. They confront real life challenges. So they call for meeting. Anytime they have a challenge, no, we have to do something. So you see them calling for meeting to solve their problems. So the various characters in works of literature live the life of real human beings, but they do not represent a specific person we can what? Directly and categorically identify with. Do you see that? You'll see a lion behaving just like a human being. But you cannot say that the lion is Muiz. You can't say, there's the name lion. I'm sure this poem is talking about Muiz. It is Muiz they have said is a lion. You can't directly say that. Do you get that? You can't directly say, no, Okonko in this poem is Masrur. Meanwhile, you see that the characters live real human what? Life. So that these characters are made to live the real world of what? Humans. So have this in mind. That characters always live the real life of human beings. But the real is in quote, not the actual Okonko you may know. A character may be called Rashid. Not the actual Rashid you know, standing with you here. A character may be called Masrur, not the Masrur you know with you in class here. Do you follow that? Yes. Good. We say that since characters have the lives of humans, we can, one, therefore judge them. Because they live the life of human beings. Right now, when we do something wrong, people can judge us. If I do something that you do not like, you can talk about it. Similarly, if you do something that I don't like, I'll talk about it. So we are able to judge characters. We are able to pass comment on what they do, their actions, their sayings, and we are able to give them advice as well. So when you meet any work of literature, have this in mind, that at the end, you will be required to pass judgment or comment on a particular character. Then we therefore learn lessons from what they do and what happens to them as well. For example, as we are in class, now I'm walking and something triggers me and I fall. I'm sure when you get there, you'll be very, very careful. You will learn lessons from that, right? Yes. I touch something right now and there's problem. You say, okay, this thing, if you touch it, there's a challenge. So you would learn lessons from that. You wouldn't want to touch it. So the same way, we learn lessons from characters. That's why we say literature as a subject for study is to educate and give us what? Moral lessons. Good. Any question? Any question? Good. If no question, then I have a question for you. What do you think the animals in the poem we just saw, the leader and the led, what do you think would be the best way for them to get a leader? And who would you want them to have considered as a leader? Yes, Roger. Who?
Zebra.
Zebra. Okay.
By voting.
They should vote. Yeah, you didn't answer how they're the best way to get a leader. Good. So what is the best way for them to have gotten a leader? You think they should vote. But we know we have different types of voting. So if time permits, I'll come back again for you to tell me what kind of voting. You said by voting. If they are to vote, who would you campaign for?
Lion.
Lion, okay. Yes, what would be the best way of they getting a leader?
To also vote.
I can't hear you.
To also vote.
It's better they vote. And if they are to vote, who would you campaign for?
Rabbit.
Rabbit. Rabbit wasn't mentioned, but let's assume rabbit is definitely part of them. Yes, what do you think would be the best way out?
They should vote.
They should vote. And who would you campaign for?
Antelope.
Antelope. Okay. Next time we meet, you would tell me why you would want rabbit, you would want antelope, you would want who? Zebra. And then? Lion. This is where time will permit us to bring the lesson to an end. I see you have a question. Reserve your question for our next meeting. Don't forget, keep it our next meeting. Ask your question, and then we'll continue from there. Viewers of MTA Africa and the program English Language for Junior High School, this is where time will permit us to be with you once again. We looked at characterization, and we've been trying to just pinpoint or identify characters in works of literature. We haven't exhausted that area. We hope to continue with it next time. We are most grateful to the English department of T.I. Ahmadiyya Senior High School, Kumasi, and their student for giving us that wonderful poem, The Leader and the Led. Until we meet you again, we say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.